Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we know, Hongmu culture and arts is a big topic, and I cannot expand too much, so I just have a speech simply. Before I'm coming, organizer tell me that to discuss some more about arts. But if I do not compile and specify the relationship between arts and Hongmu, then I cannot go on this topic. So I have to expand a little bit concerning the relationship between Hongmu and arts. So when we're talking about the Hongmu arts, let's start from Hongmu this word. According to Chinese culture and traditions, the name of the tree makes the name of the wood. Sorry. So this is the alarm remind me. Sorry, I shut it off. So you know, culture. Let's start from Hongmu, this word. You know, Hongmu is a different name compared to our traditional naming. Maybe you're surprised. Why? You know, the name of the wood, the name of the tree makes the name of the wood. And many kinds of the wood, right? So, if you cut the tree, then the tree makes the log and then the timber. While Hongmu, that's different. There is no any specific tree with the name of Hongmu. While according to the Chinese criteria, there are about like 5 chief categories of the trees can make Hongmu, the logging. How to explain this term? How to explain this concept? You know that 5 category, 8 subcategories coming from different altitude, different regions. While in consequence, they have the names in Latin language, they have the name in folk culture, and they have the name in Chinese. But none of them is Hongmu. So this is not about the name of Hongmu. Maybe it's not what you've seen. Well, you can check in the vocabulary. It's the bedwood, redwood. It's a kind of a category of the wood. It's a little bit different to the hardwood. So this is an interesting vocabulary that Chinese, how can you name the wood from the other part of the world to be Hongmu? In hundreds of years, nobody objected. So can you explain to me why Chinese can name it by own for the wood coming from the other region? Well, I would like to discuss such kinds of the complexity. It's a natural one. It's a natural thing. Because you see, we are not surprised to see that people name the other foreign items by themselves and nobody objected. According to my research in 30 years, Hongmu is like the word in this paragraph. I would not repeat due to time limit. I just want to say Hongmu, this name, nobody, no any country submit their objection against us for the know-how. While you know there is no any specific tree in correspondence to Hongmu. There's 5 chief categories and 8 subcategories. We name them Hongmu. Why? Only one reason. It's because the nature of Hongmu is not referred to the timber. It's referred to the spirit of the wood. It refers to the spirit of the wood. That's the culture of Hongmu. Why we can name that to be Hongmu. And what kinds of the wood will be named by Chinese to be Hongmu? And what else not named as Hongmu? So let's see. Chinese will consider that 3 criteria. Number 1 is it's more heavy, think it's more tasty. Number 3 is beautiful grain that fit the opinion of beauty appreciation at that time. So if they can fit these 3 criteria, that can be called Hongmu. And number 4 criteria is the color. If we use a modern name, we call it warm color. But in tradition, it's called a fallen wood. Or we call it yang wood or yin wood. You know, do you have heard the name of yang wood and yin wood? Yang and yin is in Taiji, Chinese Taiji. It means positive and negative, or it means like male or female, the sun and moon. So yang wood, that means those shiny color, and yin wood, that means a little bit dark color. So those yang wood would refer to those bright color that can anti the corruption in the desert, corruption in the earth. So, but these kinds of the wood, when buried in earth, it can anti the corrosion. So, when you go to the State Museum, that what you see, it should be the yin wood, or it should be the yang wood, but it is covered by the paint. Use Chinese customs to use the bright color, bright paint. And also, according to our customs, we like those red paint, red color, that representative the flourishing, happiness. Then we also call those wood to be Hongmu, that means red wood. For example, if a girl marry a royal family, as we know that her family name will also change to be the family name of the husband. So, for example, when Hillary married Clinton, her name changed to Hillary Clinton. So Clinton is the family name. Also, it's the same in China. So you know that in the old days, women have no any social status. There's also something we can check in history of China. Then in Maha, then we call it Mujiamu, call it Maha. I remember in 1982, on behalf of the Ministry of Forestry, we went abroad to procure the woods. We find out the Hongmu wood will be very beautiful with the beautiful grain and curved shape. And if the wood is round and straight, then the grain is very smooth. The nature gives us multiple categories of the wood, and every wood has its own grain, own nature. But today I cannot explain all kinds of the wood to you. What I would like to talk is the concept of art. Just now I talked about the starting between the relationship of art and wood. You know, art is a word very simple, but it have a rich contents and very difficult to explain. But we have to explain. So we will not focus on the definition of art. What I want to talk about the contents. And my feeling is that you have 2 keywords. One is in relationship to human being. Another one is creation. You know, anything created by human being, that would be their cultural heritage. Human being create something when up to a high level, then we call it a high-end or the best performance act the art of Hongmu. So we take those Hongmu to China and name it Hongmu or redwood, and then we explore the culture and use the Hongmu to make those artifacts and artworks for the use of human beings. So they have three progresses in the whole process. So this is three categories, but it's the same meaning, right? So number one is soaring, and the second one is processing. Finally, is artworks. So for a long time, according to our research and awareness to Hongmu, including the public and artists, they are not aware of the true spirit of Hongmu because they define Hongmu in wood and timber. It's just like to put the phoenix into the crown of chicks. Well, for me, I think Hongmu should be an independent subject for research. So what you see here, this is three representative items. Category 1 is the carving art crafts. You see, this is a zoom-in image. The bottom one is the structure universal item. It's structure carved, but not the furniture. So in this way, this one in Qing Dynasty is a playing item for Emperor Qianlong. Now it is conserved in Taiwan, the museum, the State Museum of Taiwan. It's one of the exquisite aircraft that brought by Chiang Kai-shek from China mainland to Taiwan in 1949. The right hand, you can see that there are artistic furniture. While we know that we should have soaring, processing, and then artworking. So, you know that all of us are Chinese, we know the calligraphy. But words printed by computer is different to the words by calligraphy. So, calligrapher doesn't focus on the contents of the meaning of the word, while focus on the shape, the image of the word. So you know that this is a different level of performance. So if we evaluate Hongmu art by these three levels, then you may know what I mean. So these two pictures, what are them? Left one, you see, well, of course, both are artworks. They made by the 20 years artists, 20 years covers who passed by the examination of master degree in my college. At the time, we three professors give the mark 80 score, or for the left hand. For the right hand, we give it 95. Why? For the 80 score, you see, it didn't receive a higher or senior qualification. And then the student asked me, why? Is there any defects on my artwork? I say, yeah, it's good, but lower level. still struggling at a normal level, like only a normal artwork. But if you evaluate the right hand one, why the score is 95? But visually, for example, I show it to Mr. Chen. He said, well, it looks more beautiful. Handicraft and what is a masterpiece. Left hand side is a drunken. Right one, you see, this is two birds, and then with their wings is opened, and you may see that is the female bird and the male bird. They are discussing, talking, bubbling, and the bottom is a lion. It is a jujube. Okay, sorry, the bottom is a jujube tree. And then the jujube tree, that means it's already in the autumn season. And then in the upper part, you may see the breeze blowing the leaves of the trees. So you may see this week can reflect the year 1999. Then the student received the senior qualification certificate from our college. Let's continue. Now let's continue. All the theory about the Hongmu, I have a work for the outline of Hongmu that will be published next year. Then I discuss systematically for the theory of Hongmu. Chiefly work contains that the arts of Hongmu culture and three natures, artistic value of Hongmu, and then the artistic appreciation principle of Hongmu. All will be the contents of my book. How to evaluate them? We should by evaluation, rareness, uniqueness, and high complexity. Well, you may see the top three characters in the nature, but the high complexity will be very difficult to witness. So when you compare the Hongmu, you may know that there should be a complexity or difficulty. Why people say Chinese culture it's very difficult for people to master because it's at a high level. So what does it mean by high level? If you want to use a wire, and then if you can cross it on the ground, that will be easy. But if I lift this line to 1 meter high, they may be only 2 passed successfully and 8 failed. But if you put this line on the bottom of the just cross 2 peaks of the mountains, they may be nobody can cross. So if you lifted this criteria to the high end, then it becomes a kind of the unique and complexity. So in general, people may ask me that, hey, you guys are experts, please tell us how to specify what is Hongmu. Okay, now is the criteria. Number 1 is wood selection. You know, wood is the gift of nature. So, masters of arts, how to evaluate their value? Value of the arts will be in the appreciation at the high level. People seeking for the flexible air, for the differentiation. And while when we see the furniture of Qing dynasty, we see there's the exquisite level that with the contents of arts, then it become handcrafts. So it's become more clumsy. So when you see the Qing dynasty, furniture of Qing dynasty, it was very busy, very clumsy. So wood selection is very important because wood is the gift of nature. How we can show to our customers and public the value of the wood, so that should be our view. And second one is the shape. This because as we know, to make the handcrafts or artworks of Hongmu, it's also a kind of job about shaping. So what's the relationship between carving and art? I bring a tool here. This is a tool that I use to examine all my students. If I use it to carving and then pass, then you get the high qualification. While in the past 30 years, less than 30 students can pass. Because my requirement that no painting, no packaging, that it must be standing without any waving. Because only you can make it and then keep standing for 3 years, no waving, then you can make the real Hongmu handcrafts. Or you can reach the level of high qualification. Like in recent years, when we find the application for name of the Hongmu capital, and then 2007, then I'm one of the professors to evaluate it, and I say that it's still in the rough level, at a junior level, still far away from our target. You know, in the future, how we can lead together with the industrialization, that is very important. Now, how to develop the Hongmu culture and Hongmu industry. Now we see it is an olive. How do we appreciate a beauty? But this is the same. If the shape is like an olive, that is no good, because we need to make sure that the research result can be taken into the real application, while the wood is the heritage of human beings' activity and also the gift of earth. So we need to change the situation of the industry currently, and then to change our structure. Why would I like to discuss like this way for the carving? Sculpture and carving. I think sculpture refers is an activity with the real direction, with a clear direction. That means you already have the direction in hand. Then you use your hands and then to apply your idea to your hands and use your technique to show your idea. So this is the art. So this is sculpture. Harmony is a new word. It's also a representative of Chinese culture. When you see it, 所有的家具都要去触摸到碰的，你要看这个家具，要想摸它，想要拥有它，想要拥抱它，想要不停地来用手来抚摸它，跟它有感情，跟它互流，这才有木趣啊！木趣是这样来的。我们现在离它这么远的，哪来的趣啊？什么原因呢？就是因为你现在东西无趣，它没办法产生共鸣啊，所以。The sharp corners. Then how you can touch it, how you can feel it. So then I use the word harmony to describe it. That no harmony, no masterpiece of Hongmu. Due to time limit, I cannot explain too much. Now I also like to discuss the Hongmu art. I should not avoid one person for a long time until today. That so many Hongmu artworks as heritage in Chinese culture. This is a small part. And also I will show you some pictures to tell you what is Hongmu art. This artwork of Hongmu is by one master. July 2nd, he left us to heaven. He is the student of Fu Baoshi, born in 1941, named Fu Xuezhong. Mr. Lin Shou knows this person, Master Fu. Why he is so famous? Because he do one important thing within decades. He learned the theory from Fu Baoshi and Chen Jishi and Li Shibai about the sculpture, about the art, and then the art of Hongmu. He is nowadays a unique master of Hongmu. He fight his life for Hongmu art. In 3 fields, he left a masterpiece for us. And all the masterpieces are shown in our center. And later you may visit, even though Mr. Fu left us to heaven. Before he left us, and after he left, also after he left us, I wrote some memorial words and being used by Hong Kong columnists in the website and blog. So my assessment to him is very high, because we witnessed the masterpiece, but we lost the master. If no human being, no culture. So today the problem is that if we are just fighting for economy, not fighting for the culture, how we can prolong our heritage of Hongmu culture? Because cultural direction and economic directions, the directions in culture and economy sometimes different each other. While for the cultural, what we seek is the differentiation. So the consequence of culture should be applied to the industrial purpose, then can make it expand. And if we make a chaos to confuse for the direction of our development in the future, how can we expand our culture? Now we see the masterpiece of Mr. Wu. It's a jar that you can see the end. It's a hole, right? So this jar, this wood is a curved shape, as big as my hand, and then with a hole. And maybe you cannot do anything. Maybe what you think you can use the glue to make it a furniture. Well, according to the shape of this curved one, then Master Wu make it a masterpiece to reflect at the time of reforming and opening of China. Then you make this one. This show in the Paris Arts Exhibition and being also received a high reputation as an artwork that representing the spread opening and reforming. You see, this is a crab. Then you may appreciate it. So this one, maybe it's not clear, but this I can discuss. This is practice. It's a rough practice. It's made by one piece. Let's forget the techniques of carving. What we discuss is the thought, is the idea. So what's the value of the idea? That means if we are close to it, you think it's a bamboo, it's not a wood, but here is the rough practice. You know that he got married at 40 due to his poor family, and this master keep practicing for a long time until 40, age of 40. So he can create the artwork like this. So he married a lady who is a daughter of a landlord. Well, you know, in those old days, the landlord's daughter prohibited to marry. So here you see that there's a couple, female and male. For the female one, it is curved and want to go inside, but cannot go inside. So it's facing with the difficulties. So this is, even though we go to, this is, we can see the traditional culture. You see the big from the small item. Even though in the temple we see that the Buddha is very huge, but still you see the small Buddha sculpture. And also you see from the small Buddha sculpture to see the big idea of Buddhism. So this is delivering the spirit of Chinese traditional culture. So this is Jianzhen monk. As after the operation, Mr. Wu thought that this is really only one piece, and then they cut away the branch.
And we have a bark. The bark is still alive. Then it jams, and the leaves a leaf goes out, and we could see every vein of the leaf. So it's not so clear. So after explosion, we find that the texture is really good. We just made it according to its shape. We could see here the two black lines. Actually, they are the black texture. The pine trees, the squirrel, the two eyes are so vibrant. It's very difficult to make the fur. So we should make the bone visible to everyone, to every eyes. So it's so difficult to make it. We cannot just quantify it. You know, if everything shaped by quantity, then that is quantity. If we cannot make it or describe it according to quantity, then that is art. I hope you feel the word. You feel the word. You do not always just watch the video games. And this is for smoke. The phoenix and the dragon together with the English version. So we have the floating carving, and we have all kinds of techniques combining traditional Chinese and Western American, Western artist. This is a kind of creation, and this is the structural carving. It's for ornaments, pendants, the traditional one. When we disassemble it, it's just like this. So in the past, it was very funny. Yeah, this ornament was for emperor. And we know that actually the country is due to pass down the techniques from one generation to another, or else these techniques will die out. In the past, the emperor did not have anything to find to get for recreation. So due to the confinement of time, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much.